How do you get rid of it once you've got it in there? Oh no, is it there forever? Oh no, oh no. How do I get rid of it? Okay, let's see. Welcome back, Rising World fans. I have some stuff to show you. This is the south lawn. You can see that we have done a little bit of work. I have finished my fountain. So I'm going to go over there and have a look at that. We've put in a little decor here, some plants, and we've used our one statue in the game. Right there, Mr. whatever he is with the horns. And here is our fountain. And wouldn't you know, every time I start the game, the sun sets. But this is the fountain. I was able to plant some plants in the water. We don't have any specific water plants except for these seaweeds. And they look okay, I think, sticking up like that. Let's cheat here and turn this back to daytime because I think it'll look better than turning on the light. Okay, so what we have here is our plants. We have some fake water lilies and in daisies that are sort of under the water. I suppose I could put some little humps in the like some little pieces of gravel on the bottom and plant them and see if I can get them to stick up above the water. That might be kind of cool. And I have made a fountain. I've done this with a couple of vases that I stacked on top of each other. You have to blueprint an item if you want to change its orientation or stack it or something like that. I used a round log and made it bigger and squished it flat. And then I used other little small pieces of round log and put around the edge to make a lip. I have a water surface in there, which is a poster. And I have I believe there are 3 different pictures of fountain water that I have turned into PNGs and isolated so that they, so that there's no background, and so that they look like a fountain from different angles. We don't have dynamic water to make a fountain, but would that not be cool? I think it would. It would be super cool, but we do not have that. So I am pretty happy. I wound up putting another row of the same blocks, skinnier, just attached to the outside. It's not perfect, but it does kind of hide those holes in the dirt that I was fretting over. So I'm very, very pleased with how the fountain came out. Super fun and a nice change from just building stuff. Well, I mean, we were building stuff, but it's more a decor, and yeah, I'm happy. I think it looks great. So, very impressed with myself. And then I began working on just this little section of garden here. There is a tree right about here, and this is about the size of the tree that is in this spot. It might be just a little bit taller than this, but the other trees that I looked at for this space were just too big. So this is a little cherry tree that I stuck in here. And then I used some rowan bushes, which is really the only bush that we have. There are two versions of the rowan bush in the game, and when I looked at them, they both look identical. So I'm not exactly sure why there are two versions. I'm using, you know, our flowers and our ferns, and I also planted some carrots in here because they looked kind of fern-like, and we're using the hemp just to fill in and make some plantings. Now, you'll notice that this this is a custom garden bench, which I made myself. I'm pretty happy with it. This is the kind of thing that I'm supposing that I'm going to do in the interior is build a lot of my own furniture. I am not very happy with the furniture that comes with the game. It means that we can't actually sit on it, but that's okay. But I think it looks much better than just, you know, your garden variety bench that doesn't have a back and isn't very interesting looking. So I made that. And if that's the kind of thing that you want to see, this was actually pretty easy. It didn't take very long to do. I can definitely record some of that. So today, what I thought I would do is put in more plantings because that's fun. And so we have a chance to just go wild with the plants and play around to see what's going to look good where. We have a lot of space that we need to put plantings in. But before we do that, we're going to go out here, and at the crossroads here of the two paths, there is actually a sundial, or a little pedestal that I believe had a sundial on it but doesn't anymore. And it is kind of odd that it's right in the middle of the path. But for symmetry's sake, I think that's where it's going to have to go, like right there. Maybe we'll build a little bit of a curve on either side of it so that you can walk around it easily. But nevertheless, that is what is there, and that is what we're going to build at this very moment. So, 3 and 4. Looks like I'm going to need 4. And flatten that out. We're going to make a little square piece for it to sit on, right about there. Is that centered? Yeah, that's about right. Maybe just a little bit bigger. There we go. And right there is good. On top of that, there is a little round piece. And that's going to go right, right in the center. Let's see if we can use the grid. No, the grid is off a little bit, so we won't use that. We'll just eyeball it. And the actual pedestal is not round. It is a hexagon or an octagon or some kind of gon. It has kind of straight sides, but it's not a rectangle. We're going to use the round piece instead because I just don't want to take that much time building this. I'm going to go up. It's about waist high, I think. So whatever looks good from our character's perspective. And I'm really just guessing here at the center. I'm hoping I'm getting it right. Don't want to spend a long time. Looks okay. On top of that is another slightly larger piece. That's as small as that will go. out, and we'll use enter, and then another piece on top of that that's bigger, right about there. And to top that off, oh, there's one more piece that I need and I didn't get, but I will get it. To top that off, we're going to put a poster, and yes, that's the thing I didn't get. Let me run back in there, or rather fly back in there. Oh, something else I didn't show you. I put in my my French door. I need to show you that. I believe it's in this box. I reorganized my stuff. Let's look in this one. I don't remember. There's the poster. Oh, I guess I had the poster in my hand all the time. Okay, so I need that. Don't need that. Might need it later. I do need the triangle, which is in here. This one. Okay. So yeah, I made a bunch of, what is that? Oh. I made a bunch of boxes and divided up my stuff because everything was in this little box. I was running out of space and it was disorganized. So I've separated things out by type. And I was looking at this color over here. Still struggling with the color issue. I was hoping this would be slightly lighter green, the way it looks in the inventory selector. It looks lighter, but it's pretty dark. Looking for a nice wall color for some of the rooms. Not finding it yet. So yeah, I have placed some lighting in here, which I don't think was here before. And I created this French door out of windows because we do not have a French door. And I'm now using this new color that they put in. It's material 84. It's a whitewashed wood, which is quite nice. And if I had that when I built the original windows, I definitely would have chosen that instead of what I did choose. They are a weird color, which I don't like, but it's way too late. Way too late to do it again. So yeah, I'm very happy with my French doors. They are, unfortunately, in this position forever. They are not operable. But I did use the yellow marble for my brass handles. That is really about as close as we could get to a yellow marble or a brass color for the handles. And I even put hinges on because why not? So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I have some hinges on the outside so that it actually looks like it might be a real door. I didn't manage to squeeze any hinges in there. It was kind of tight. But yeah, so we have a door and it is open and it will stay that way. But so back out to our sundial. Hopefully it's not too tall to look at. Is it too tall to look at? You can pretty much see. Yeah, we can see it all right. Cool. All right, so the next thing that we need to do is we need to get a poster in here. That's number 5. And we just left click where we want to put it. I need to upload the image, which is on my desktop. It's this one. We're going to use that. Oh, it's almost the right size. So we will make sure that it's facing the right way. Looks like it. Oh, it looks like it is not. So we're going to spin it around. We can do that, right? I hope. Because it is facing absolutely the wrong way. Okay, so left click. Well, we're using the image. Can we not spin it around? And if I go over here and place it, it is still facing the wrong way. Oh yes, we can spin it around. Good. That had me worried because it has to be facing the right way for it to actually work. So we're gonna make it slightly smaller, which is done that way. Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, that'll work. So it's facing as close to due north as we can make it. And we're gonna stick that in there like that. The sundial that this came off of has a brass thingy that you use to read it. I don't know what you call it, stylus or whatever. But we don't have a brass one. We're going to use this material and try to make it the right size. So how would we do that? That's about right. But we want to, no, let's see. I want to go this way with it. And actually it needs to go, I think that's right. It needs to go this way. So that needs to go right there. I wish I could make it skinnier, but I can't. I think it needs to be longer. Can we stand right here? That's too long. Well, that's probably about right. Whoops, it needs to be taller. I think I'm going to need to sink it down in a little bit so that it's more the right spot. And we do not have cast shadows in the game, so it won't actually function. It would be super cool if it did. So control and then page down. Yes, and move it over. I'm going to say that that's close to right. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, there is our sundial. It's kind of like a sundial. Okay, so now we can go ahead and do a little bit of gardening. But let's put those bushes in first. We want to find the rowan bush. And I'm going to get both versions. Ooh, that's a big tree. Both versions of the rowan bush and let you see if you can tell the difference. I cannot. These trees are really big. In fact, that lemon tree, it's a pretty big tree. So that tells me how big I have to make that greenhouse. Pretty big. Cactus, apple, willow, maple, rowan. Okay, so there's the rowan 2. And there's the rowan dead. Well, obviously there's a difference there. Rowan 2 and rowan 1. Rowan 1, rowan 2. Do you see a difference? Rowan 1, rowan 2. No difference. They're the same. We will place them and spin them around so that they don't look the same. So there's one. I'm going to spin this one around. There's 2. And then we'll throw another one over here. Hopefully that's not encroaching into the room too much. If it is, we all have to move it. I don't like when they come through the walls. No, that looks okay. We'll do another one over here. And look, it's nighttime again. How long have I been on? Maybe one there. So yeah, this is really the only bush that we have. Maybe some twigs in there would look good. Just throw a twiggy one in there, just so we have some twigs sticking out. I like having just some different textures. Yes, the gardeners have some work to do. And then we'll throw in tomatoes? No. Carrots are good because they look kind of lacy, like little ferns, only they have the orange thing on the bottom, which is kind of weird, but you know, it is what it is. So there's all this little, you know, this little stuff that placing plants and things like that is just actually kind of relaxing. But you know, it takes a little time. I guess everything in this game takes a little time. Welcome back. I am finally recording again. It's been at least a couple of weeks since the last time I was recording. I have played a little bit, but I haven't done too much. I'm going to just give you a quick tour of what I have done, and then that'll be the end of this episode. I'm going to keep playing today and keep recording, so I'll have another episode ready to show you. Still working on the outside and a little bit on the inside, and so I can show you what I have done in the last couple of weeks. I finished the railings in here, so we now have railings on the terrace, which gives it a little bit more of a finished look. Fairly happy with how that came out. Did finish the garden that I was working on the last time that you saw this. So I got my bench in there, I got my flowers in there. Started in with some plantings in here. Didn't get real far along with the plantings. Using some of these decorative flower grasses that does help fill in quite a bit. And I think that's good. Probably will do a lot more of that. The other thing that I did spend some time doing is cleaning up the paths here. And I got started, the last time I played, I got started on some stairs because this was just much too steep to come down. And I got these stairs put in. There are some stairs in the gardens in just about that spot, but they're much shorter. It's like 4 or 5 steps down to another terrace in the garden. And obviously our landscape is different. So I got these paths all smoothed out. I don't think I had done this before. I put in some more grasses and bushes along the paths to sort of finish that out. What I did down here, and I don't think I showed you this before, this area was all kind of marshy and had humps and things sticking up. And so I actually got in here and deepened the pond, smoothed it out, put in a channel so that it's, and I got sort of a little beach put in here. And I'm going to fly over the water here really quickly. And I went ahead and made a channel through here so that you can now get through here. If you had a little canoe, you could get through here. I played around, put some swamp oaks in. I thought that looks kind of interesting. And a dead tree, because you often see dead trees submerged in lakes. The swamp oaks are strange because they're the same tree as the other oak trees, but they're a different color. And they have the moss hanging off of them. Obviously, they don't have these in England, but what the heck. And I did the same thing here. I smoothed this all out, and I put in a little beach. When you smooth things out under the water, it screws up the water, so you have to put the water back in. And so I did that, and it makes kind of a nice little beach here. Playing around with, let's walk through the water here. Playing around with the corn, using it as kind of a reedy plant. At the water's edge, it's not quite right, but you know, we use what we've got. And what we've got is corn. So I put those in along with some hemp and some grass in the water to kind of make it look like water plants. Smooth this all out. And put in some plantings in here. Kind of playing around with the different tree species. There's an acacia there and one over there. So I want it to look different. I don't want it to all be the same kind of tree. And it seems like, you know, in the forested areas, you have the spruce and the oaks, and that's what you have. In the grasslands, you have the birch trees, and that's what you have. But I really wanted this to have a bunch of different species of trees. So that's what I did there. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do with these stairs. They're, like I said, they're steep. Maybe put some railings in and clean the sides up. I don't know. I just got started doing some of the landscaping over here, putting in more bushes. I discovered something I could do to vary the look of the rowan bush. And that is to dig a hole, take your pick, dig a quick little hole, and then plant your rowan bush in the bottom of the hole. And that will give you some different levels at least. And then I can put some grass and flowers and stuff around it, and you'll never see the hole. Did the same thing over here. I've got one in a hole down here, and then one just on the ground with some twigs sticking out. I think that's a rowan, and then that's a dead willow. I like having you know, some of the dead trees and things, because it looks a little more natural. In a landscape, you would have a little of both, not just all perfect trees. So I did that. And my chore today will be to finish out the plantings, or at least make a dent. This is a big area. I'm not sure that I will finish it all in one time, because I get bored if I do the same thing for too long. It's supposed to be fun. If it's not fun, I'm not going to do it. So that's what I did. And then I did a couple of little things inside the house, just to mix it up a little bit. So here I can show you really quickly the other things that I did. I'm still really liking my French doors. I wish I could get them to work, but they are open. So I got busy on this a little bit. I took out, you'll notice I took out the thing at the top. I had thought it was too tall, and so I made it a little shorter. I made these columns up here a little shorter. I'm trying to decide exactly how I'm going to build the wall that goes across, the little half wall that goes across the balcony. It has some pierced strap work, like sculpted into it. So I haven't decided how to do that, but I finished off the bottoms of the columns. This is pretty close to how they look in real life. So I did that, and I finished the top part of the smaller columns, or at least I'm not quite finished. You'll notice that this one has a few rings around it, and I'm going to do that with the others. It does not come too close to the actual very complicated sculpture work that's on the columns, but it does give an impression that there's something there that's more interesting. All of this is sculpted. All of these arches have sculptures on them. In the center here's a really big sculpture. Those will probably be done with posters. So that's how that got done. And I did some work upstairs in the prospect room, and I'm not going to go up the spiral stairs because that takes a while. So I'm just going to burst through. I put in more lighting. It needed more. It had originally 3 chandeliers in here, which was not nearly enough to light up this room. So I put in actually 9. There are 9 chandeliers in here. And it takes all of that to light up this room. And you'll notice that I did put in that green color. This is actually the copper material. It's a green copper material that is going to suffice for the green patinated Venetian plaster, I believe is what they have in the actual room. And it's like a wainscoting. Above this in the actual room is kind of a powder blue color, which we do not have, so we're going to have to stick with the white. I did put in 4 doors, only one of which leads to these stairs, which I believe might be this one. It's hard to tell because they all look alike. Nope, that one's a closet. There are 4 doors in the room for symmetry's sake. 2 of them actually lead to like a stairway, but only one of the stairways is operable. The other one is blocked off. This one is the stairway. And then I put in I put in wood window seats and wood trim. So this room is, and I put in the wood trim around the door, along with these rosette circles on the edges. So I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. Yeah. So this room I'm going to call almost finished. Not exactly sure. Maybe I'll stick a piano up here or something. There wouldn't be one because the only access to this room is that spiral stair. In real life, the only access to this room is a spiral stair. So there would be nothing up here. You can't carry anything up here that's bigger than what you can carry up that spiral stair. So there was never anything in this room. It's crazy, but that's what it is. So yeah, let's fly out of here. Yeah, so I'm fairly happy with how this all turned out. Oh, and the other thing I did do is I put in a railing around the stair in here, in sort of preparation for finishing this up. It's not exactly what I had intended to do. I'm just noticing I've got some wood sticking out there, and I never noticed that before. That looks very weird. It's really not what I intended to do, but it is quick and easy. Well, relatively quick and easy. Just done with the black material, which is number 204 if you're interested. That is a color in the game. It's kind of hard to work with because it's completely matte black. There is no texture to it, so it's kind of hard to see where you're placing it. This stairway actually has like a grill or something on the, I could show a picture of it, but it's got like a very delicate grill. And I was gonna do that with like posters, but I thought this house is gonna have a lot of posters. And so I wanted to build it out of materials that we do have. Oh, and I almost forgot. Is it in here? No, it's in this side. I finished up the servants' stairs on this side. So this wasn't here before. Finished these up. I took out the railings that we did have in here and did something a little more finished. Used the round log and round posts in the new white color. Not exactly sure. This is going to wind up being 2 rooms, and I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to put the wall. I think maybe probably on this side. So this goes down now to the first floor, the ground floor, and continues on up to the second floor and then down to the basement as it was before. So I took out those ugly things that I had in here, and because I made that ball already, I installed it. I installed the balls here to actually take up the. There are actually decorations that look just like that on this little closet thing. So yeah, we got that done. When I was deconstructing things, I lost my door. I'm gonna have to put my door back up to my closet. So yeah, a few little things happening here and there. This looks kind of crappy from the other side, doesn't it? I have to do something about that. So yeah, things to do. I want to work on this, but I also want to do the gardening. So I think I'll do the gardening first. And then this is going to take some thinking about. This is like a main feature of the Great Hall. And this room needs lots of love and care. It's going to have some wood paneling about to this height down here, and I'm thinking of using this this pattern up here, which is actually quite nice. It's got the beams and the lines already built into it, which will make it a lot faster than placing individual planks. So I'm thinking about using that. And then there is a big hammer beam ceiling that goes up here, and that's going to take some time. So this room, yeah, is going to take a good deal of time to really get looking good. And this might be one of the ones that we start working on first, because it is really the showplace of the house. One of them. But that's all for now. I am going to cut it off right here and get busy with the gardens. And the next time you check in with me, I will show you what we've done on the gardens. And then we'll maybe do some building on this screen together. So, yeah, that'll be it for this episode. Please subscribe if you want to see how the house grows. And thank you. I appreciate your watching. Bye-bye.